Hi, welcome to another video. Today we're going to go over some of my old work and some of my newer work. We're going to compare and contrast. Okay, for this we're going to divide the works by year and fandom. We're going to be using my Instagram and work from there. At the bottom of my Instagram or some of my earlier posts was traditional art. During this time, I didn't have a drawing tablet yet. The posts are from 2018. There's some fandom stuff and some original pieces. My favorite one so far is the Genji piece and the Mercy as well as the Venom piece. I like how I drew Mercy's hair in the Venom piece. I like how I drew his legs. And for the Genji piece, it just looks so emo. I like it. During this time, I noticed that it's Overwatch OCs or randoms really. Detroit Become Human, Doodles, Kingsman, and style testing. I say style testing because if you notice the style, it briefly changes for a bit. Not just for Doodles, but as a whole. But it wasn't a consistent change, so it was more of a testing than a proper change. Overall though, not bad. I think it's pretty decent. Let me show you. So this is a Genji piece that I'm referring to. And then the Venom, if I can find it. Right here. And Mercy. Overall though, for this year, nothing too crazy. I think it's okay. Because, yeah, there's not a lot that calls my attention, but it is a lot of black marker and a lot of just ink. A lot of repeats for this character, I think. Overall though, it could use a lot of work. Okay, now we're getting into 2019. We're getting into stuff I like. This year, Adelaide and Winnie developed. Bro, oh my god, they're some of my favorite characters designed. I still love them even now. I wish I drew them more. I just don't. During this time, I think I was more creative and experimented a whole lot more. But I'm digging so much of the work then, you know? Like, a lot of it's just good. This is Adelaide and Winnie. Let me scroll down. Right here. During this time, I was into Miraculous Ladybug, Adelaide and Winnie, OCs, Good Omens, and a lot of just dental / bloody stuff. I like this whole section. It's still one of my favorites. I want to remake many of the pieces on here, specifically the Paleta de Limon, which is right here. That one was very fun. I loved it. It was very experimental for me because I never worked on something like, oh, let me look at this real actual thing and then just draw it from what I'm seeing. It was my very first time. It was very cool. I low-key want to get back into the blood / dental stuff aesthetic. It's very cool to me, but YouTube won't like that. I think so anyway. I don't think they'd like that very much. Also, the gray / orange hands, that drawing is WLW, which is Yuri. Oh my god, dude. Adelaide and Winnie, my favorites. This is right here. This is my favorite. It was my profile picture for the longest while. I don't know. It's because like back then I didn't really have Leaf yet, so then I just had this for my profile picture, and it was just for the longest while. But then I digitalized it, but I think that was like in another year. I really enjoy my pieces from 2019. They're some of my favorite. This section overall is one of my favorites because it's so experimental, and it's when these two characters developed, and it's still one of my favorite relationships that I've drawn, and overall characters too, because it's just so nice. I love vampires, and I think during this time I was very inspired with with Twilight, so like it just worked, and I thought it was very cool. Especially like these dental pieces, they're, I don't know, as they're not fully accurate and all that, but like the aesthetic is something that I still like even now, you know. So much of this is very, yeah. Okay, I thought I should finish scrolling in this section. Just a whole lot of Miraculous Ladybug for 2019. And then now for 2020, the Overwatch phase. Oh my god. I want to redraw some of these really bad. 2020 was big for starting digital art properly, because it was a little more detailed. It was really exciting. 2020 was also the start of my MXTX phase. I was still big on comics. I feel like I was bigger on background. So let me show you moving up. This was definitely a practice. It was a screenshot from like the series itself. And then what do I mean? Here's the backgrounds. Like they start to develop and stuff like that. During this time, I began to develop the small styles. Sorry, it feels like a mouthful. Smalls style. I also noticed that I had had a hella posts this year. I think during this time I had a post schedule. I absolutely do not have that now. Absolutely not. One of my favorites was the Among Us doodles, which is all right here. It's just that they're really clean, so I like them. I thought it was nice. You know, it's just, I don't know. it's very nice, at least to my eyes. I don't know what I was on, but I had so many like pieces with complicated backgrounds. Like the vending machine one is, at least to me, still kind of crazy, because even though it's not necessarily as good, it's still complicated. You know, I drew all of that. You know, it's not, there wasn't really any shortcuts. I did it all from scratch, so I thought it was still good. During this time, I was also learning my colors, as well as mixing and learning vibrancy. Not fully, but partially. During this time, I also made the stickers, like physical stickers. It was a lot of fun. Right here, 110%. It was a lot of fun. It was, oh my god, it was hell. I remember it was a lot of work. Oh my god, yeah. Here, or near the end of the video, I'll put a comparison of all the phases for the smalls, which is this style. There is definitely a change. You're gonna see it. I'm gonna put it in at the end of the video. My favorite so far for this section is the routine post. It feels nice. The vibe is, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the vibe is, but I think it feels nice even now, which is these posts. This whole series is called Routine. Honestly, I might make something like it again because it's so nice, and I personally just really like it. I thought it was, especially this one, like it's literally just like a photo of a phone and stuff like that, but it is so nice and I like it, so I might do something like that again. It's just fun, you know. But really, this whole section is just the MXTX phase and a little bit of Overwatch. Like literally just so much MXTX. Just a ton. But you can see when I started developing my colors a little bit more. Okay, so on to 2021. I already said what my favorite piece was, which was the series, the routine, this one. So for 2020, I feel like it's kind of a mix of what I liked. I don't know, I didn't have one specific, but the series of routine, this one was my favorite. Anyway, this year we moved from MXTX to Dream SMP and some burnt out doodle pose. This year I wasn't sure what to post in the beginning since I was transitioning from MXTX to Dream SMP. This is where we see the doodles, because I was kind of getting burnt out and I was like, I don't know, like I don't know what to move on to. So yeah, and then during this time I was very big on the fiancés. I made a ton of animations. This year was a boom for me. I was developing my current style, making animations and being just creative as well as active. So I was creative and active because there was a whole lot that I was just developing during this time. Like I had the animations, I had the stickers, I had styles forming, like it was a lot. My favorite piece is actually the George piece, which is not that one. Let me see if I can find it. Damn, I have a lot. Oh, right here. It's this one. It was a piece for no, JK. I was gonna say it was for school, but I made this prior to school, and I just used it for school. It's still one of my favorites. I don't know. I like the vibe. And another piece that I like was the Ghost Fiancés. The details are nice. I love when I put the Snapchat filter. Like any time that I put the Snapchat filter on any of the art pieces is just my favorite. I don't know why. It's just like it's super simple, but it's something I like. I also like the piece of Q smoking with Charlie Slimesicle. It was a good motion towards an SRP. I just hadn't fully developed the SRP style, so let me show you those. So this is a doodle of them being ghosts. It's one of my favorites. And then this one is the one that borders into an SRP, which is something that I absolutely love. They're not insanely good pieces, but it's definitely nostalgic. As well as the animations, they're very they're rough around the edges, and they're definitely not, anything professional or anything like that. But it's very nostalgic to me, and it makes me happy because I did it, and it's something that I don't know if I'd be able to do again, because I was just motivated, I want to do something for the community. And this one, especially this one, where I did all the backgrounds, like the colors, and it was a lot longer than I expected. It was definitely just a lot of work. It wasn't something easy, and I'm so very proud of it, and it's very nostalgic to me. Okay, moving on to 2022. Sorry, I said that weird. 22. The year of my favorite piece, which is the Carl Napati Racer piece. I still love it. I still love this piece so much, dude. I love the cars, I love the designs, I love the ambiance, everything, dude. You wouldn't understand this, man. This is my everything. That's why I'm remaking it right now. As this video is being filmed, I am currently remaking this piece. Yeah. Yeah, man. But anyway, many Quackity pieces this year. I also made a few Quackity starting soon intros. They weren't seen, but it's okay. It's not that big a deal. My second favorite piece has to be the Netherite album cover for a collaborative map. So, it should be right here. This piece. My third favorite is with the Green Man and Carl. I kind of don't want to name him because, yeah, I don't know. Which is this one. The lighting is fun, wrong but fun. During this time, I also developed new OCs. In regards to this, it's just fun. Nothing serious, it's just fun. These are the OCs that I developed. And then you don't really see them too much again. They're just kind of there. I still like them even now. They... I don't know, they were just around for a little bit, and then they got kind of left behind. Okay, quick little notice before we move on. If you notice that I am not scrolling too much on the computer or the screen that you guys are watching, which is this one, that's because I'm looking at the years on my phone, because on the computer it doesn't tell you the years, it just says weeks, which is irrelevant for me. Anyway, on to 2023. The big 2023. Not a whole lot, but it was a lot of commissions. Also, a lot of Sproyer wolves. I like the Quackity and Spring crossover. Dude, I just love cars. And giving Big Q nice cars. Oh my god. During this time, I also made the animation that reached 14k views, which thank you guys so much for. I'm currently not sure if it's still at 14K. I should probably check. Depending on who's editing this video, whether me or my editor, we will put in a screen cap for that. And let me show you the animation if I can find it. This one. I generally thought this one was gonna flop because it wasn't finished, but it did good, you know. And I'm really happy about that because like it gave me a massive boost, and I was really happy that it did pretty good because I tried really hard. Even though I didn't finish it, it's still something I put in a lot of effort into. And yeah, dude, like it was generally really hard, especially because I was going with a style that isn't that simple. Because with previous ones, I was going into really really simple styles, the ones that I could keep track of, and it was easier to just navigate. But with this one, it felt like it was a lot harder because it was this style instead of the super teeny tiny ones or the smalls. Like it was hard, dude. It wasn't easy. Even though it wasn't finished, it was still a lot of work. In terms of my favorite styles, I think that's really it. Or JK, because I'm also checking on my phone for the years. These are also some of my favorite characters. Fei Fei and Mindy. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that name wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But they're some of my favorite characters even now. I still like Adelaide and Winnie. I still like Fei Fei and Mindy. And I still like... Please tell me their names are wrong. Or right. I know his name is... Starts with an M. We saw him previously down here. So... He's... freaking gone. Jeez Louise. Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, we're not gonna worry about that then. Oh, he's right here. Do I not put his name, bro? What? Oh, right here, Mineko. And Li Yin. I love these. I love all my characters. I just haven't drawn them. I probably should. I should. I really should. I just haven't gotten to it. Eventually I will. But I would say that's also, if that piece is in this year, oh my god, hold on. Let me check that this is in this year. It is in this year. This piece, oh my god, I thought I ate with that rendering, dude. Because the dress, the rendering was not easy. I'll tell you that. But it was one of my favorites because of how I rendered the dress. And I was like, dude, oh my god, this was so hard for no reason. And I did it. I made it look nice and everything. And especially the chest and everything. Dude, the rendering. But I messed up here because the shading is a little bit weird. But otherwise, the dress, good work. At least I think so. Okay, moving on to 2024. I don't have a whole lot. I really don't. It's just I really don't have very much to. I was just going through some stuff then, so I didn't really post a whole lot. It is like a good number of commissions, but otherwise it's pretty much vacant. I would say one of my favorites is the hand piece because I use my hands for reference. I liked how, I don't know, I was able to just do it because I picked up the colors and made it look faded. I know that you guys are gonna say, oh, but what about the vibrancy that you were talking about? Dude, this one was like on purpose to make it look faded. I wanted it to look like very sickly and just unwell. The whole vibe was just unwell. And this one was also one of the ones that I liked a lot because this one was so much work, but I did it, and it was also a really nice distraction during the time. Very nice, very pleasant. These ones I'm pretty sure are for this year. Yeah, like I said, I don't have a lot for 2024, just a whole lot going on then, but I do like some of the pieces that I had then, and you can see a lot of difference. I want to put it up now. Hold on, or it's gonna be a lot of scrolling. We'll put it in post. Okay. Ooh, Not a whole lot to comment on 2024, except, you know, like it was something alright. Okay, and lastly is 2025. This one is currently one of my favorites. It's a collaborative piece. I made the coloring, and Corny Dork, my sibling, they made the line work. What's up with the hug? Okay. It was definitely one of my favorites, and currently another one that I have a favorite is this one, because I don't know, the colors just come together so nice, dude. And the piece that I'm working on right now, which is the remake of the Coronapity Street Racer piece, that one isn't out yet. At least as this is being filmed, it is currently not out. But otherwise, those are my favorites. And besides the point, 2025 has just barely started, so there's barely anything that we can work on. Post credit, I will, or post edit, I think it's post edit, I don't know. We will put compare and contrast, and then I'll make some notes on there. But for now, these are all the reviews. It's so much. This one, I thought it would be one of my favorites. It's not. He looks kind of dumb, because I don't know, I don't like his face. She looks okay though. Like, I did pretty okay on her. She genuinely looks like a little kid. Okay, and finally, for the review. So this is one of the older small styles, like prehistoric. Not really, but I feel like there was a style that was a little bit older than this one. It's just that I wasn't gonna go that far back, because if we go all the way back to the first post on my Instagram, that one is still the small styles, I want to say. But that's when I just never touched a digital tablet ever again, so like I wasn't gonna count that one too much. So we're just gonna stick with this one. As you can see, it's lacking a lot, right? Like there's a lot, bro. So it's very pixelated, even when I zoom in, which is weird. I'm not sure how many. Oh, it's 1000 by 1000. I'm just gonna summarize it: 1000 by 1000. As you can see, I moved towards the grayscale of the same color instead of moving in the circle. So it's a little, you know, it's a little weird. The shading needs work. This needs work. The face, yeah. Sorry, that was my cap. Anyway, the hair isn't really. It's not detailed. It's just kind of shape. Like you get the idea, but it's just not, you know, detailed. Then he looks nice and all, but like he's missing stuff. Like there needs to be more. And this right here, not fully colored. It's lacking a lot of vibrancy. Like it's cute or whatever, but it's just not. It's just not. And the legs look a little too stiff. And this is the most recent one. You can see the difference. Oh my god. You can see the difference. Hold on. I think Tay might have been able to do this side by side. Hold on. Bear with me. Bear with me.
3 days later.
Look at the difference. Look at how much has changed. The vibrancy in this one, the shading, and there's this one that's very, I don't even know. The hands are definitely something that changed though, because like I like the circle hands, but then I was like, I don't know, like it just wouldn't make sense when they're grabbing stuff, and like, you know, the eyes definitely changed. There's more structure. There's more colors. We're moving towards the red, and here it just is in the orangey. Like it doesn't really, I don't know how to describe it. It's lacking a lot of stuff. There's, ooh, I messed up a little bit right here. Yeah, whatever. There's definitely a difference though. Definitely, there's no way you can't see the difference. Just look at him. Crazy. Hold on, let me zoom in. Oh my god. There's more shape in these legs than there is in this one, because it looks like I basically used a line tool and made a leg. But they're too straight to be a leg. Like, even if someone is thin and their leg looks really like just straight down, there's at least a little bit of definition. And here, there's not even that. You know what I mean? And here, even though they have thin legs, there's still definition. So, definitely a change. The arms are still, like, playful. Like, they're not really following, like, you know, the way an elbow worked. But, you know, is damn. It's such a big change. But let's move on to, what's the style called? Well, I'm just gonna say the medium style. Let's move on to that one. Okay, for this one, I don't even know. I want to say that shading improved, but also very specifically the face. Ooh, I forgot the eye detail. Ooh, I forgot to shade the hair. That's crazy. And I posted it like that. That's even crazier. Whatever. It's not a big deal. The facial structure is definitely different, because this one looks a little uneven. Oop. Hold on. Tay, please censor that. I don't think that's allowed on YouTube. Okay. One of the things I'm noticing is movement in shadow, because here is the chest, but then there's the marking here, dip here, flow movement here. There kind of is, it's just not as structured. It's like kind of there, not fully. This looks very dull. Like, okay, there's not a lot of skin that I could show for this one, so it's a little more complicated. But the shading is like orangey, so it's more, there's more vibrancy. For this one, it looks very like just not it. It's just not. It's very pale, very looking. It's lacking a lot. You know what I mean? I forgot to shade this one, so I'm just gonna cut a little bit of slack, just a little bit, because I completely forgot. I was more focused on the head bandages. But anyway, the lips, I can see where I was going with this, but I wasn't really like fully educated on how to do it. Here, I kind of just do the top one. Sometimes I do both. It's just that when they're not wearing lipstick or anything like that, I just do the top one to signify like, hey, they're not wearing any lipstick, so it's just, you know, the top one. I don't have a lot of notes for this one. I think same as small styles, it's very D-word, like very pale, not vibrant. It's not very lively. Like, it's lacking a lot in vibrancy. But anyway, let's move on to semi-realistic. Okay, for this one, I I went with my very old one and comparing it to a newer one. I personally didn't want to go with this one. I wanted to go with, hold on, I can pull it up, because that one's my favorite, and I like using that one because I feel like I left no crumbs with, I can pull it up, hold on, with this one. I'm gonna use this one. I know the other one's more recent, but I just personally like this one more. I think there's definitely hella change. Like, there's no way there isn't. Okay, so let's start with the fact that maybe the mouth is a little off. I could definitely improve on that one. The eyebrows aren't shaded. That needs to be worked on. But anyway, I can't zoom in on this one because this is open on clip, but I'll explain from here. So as you can see, anatomy is like way off, bro. Like, yeah, like it's just completely the jaw isn't as pointed. This one is very, you know, human-esque, very rounded, very, you know it's regular how you'd see someone. This one's a little too anime for me. The face is very long, disproportionate, the eyes are apart, ears really out. I mean, it's entirely possible with the characters like that, but it's just not, it's not working. the shading is definitely better. Because like if you zoom out, it's just nice. It looks nice. This, however, it's very I don't know how to describe it. Too, I'm gonna say shaped, because like you can distinguish that it's not really like blended in. It's very like, oh, this is a whole like complete shape, and it should probably be blended in better, so then it looks very natural. Right now it's just, that's a shape, okay, that means it's shaded, but it's not blended in. Because with this one, this is stroke by stroke by stroke by stroke. I do the shading like that, like, yeah, like I wear myself out, but it looks better when you zoom out, because then it looks very almost like real hair, where it's like, oh yeah, like it's by strand by strand by strand, and you know, it looks very natural. Over here it's just a whole shape, and it's not by strand, but rather by shape and form, so it kind of, the shading is a little wonky on this one too, because okay, it's coming from the right side, but why isn't it applying to the rest of the face, you know? So like it's very, yeah. Over here I want to say the shading is better, because like I can tell that it's coming from over here, it's right, top right, because it's shaded more over here. There's a little bit here, 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 a little bit on the upper lip, a little bit on the chin, here, shoulder, arm, not over here, not over here. So definitely improvement. we're definitely doing better. Another notice is that like line art, no line art, which is, you know, whatever. It's not a big a deal. What else? Shading definitely improved. This one's more vibrant than this one, but also I know how to choose my colors now. It seems a little more anatomically correct, a little messed up on this side, but that's okay. It's not that big a deal. Yeah, it's definitely a lot better. Definitely improvement. Cause goddamn, that's definitely a change from how I started over here to over here. Complete change. Complete change. It seems a little anatomically better. Also, because I'm using references now, so it's not just, you know, I'm gonna take a guess and let the wind take me. Definitely better. Yeah, dude. Like, damn. Definitely better. That's good. And also, I signed my stuff now. It's in the bot. It looks like Cheeto Dust right here. That's kind of funny. Oh my god. I signed my stuff. Over here, it doesn't look like I did. At least not yet. Oh wow. Ooh, what a change, guys. But that has been all. Thank you for watching. It's definitely been a journey. I know that my early stages weren't really documented on YouTube. At least not my super early stages. They were documented on Instagram, and no, yeah, just Instagram. It's definitely a lot of fun. I hope to be able to review my future art. It's nice to see how much I've changed and grown. I honestly thought, like, damn, when I review this, it's just not gonna change at all, like, damn. But it did change, and I'm very excited about that, because it's nice to see that I've grown, you know, and it gives you hope, like, damn, you know, I may think I'm like doing awful or whatever, like I'm not doing a whole lot, but I just need to reflect a little bit on where I started and where I am now. You know, it's definitely a big change, because as you can see, a lot has changed from the beginning to now. So it's very nice to see. And I also hope that it like gives you guys an incentive, like, oh, I don't think I'm improving, at least not fast enough. Like, it takes a while, but it's gonna pay off, because it took me a while to get to where I am right now, and even then I'm not done learning. I still have a lot to go, so keep your head up, you know. You always got to start somewhere, even if you're the best, the worst, whatever the case is. you're going to reach the point you want to reach within due time. So give yourself the patience and grace. So yeah, and it was very nice to go down this trip. Very, very memory lane. It was very nice. It's so nice to see how much has changed. But anyway, enough yapping. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye bye.